What if I told you that you and I are the same being? And not just me, every single person you see around you, all the animals, the landscape, the world, everything you see is the same thing. We're all the expression of oneness in different forms, in different flavors, different varieties. Separation, the idea that we're all separate beings that aren't attached to each other, is an illusion. It's been the greatest illusion perpetrated on humanity and has been for thousands of years. This separation of illusion has led to the uncontrolled growth of the ego. It has led to division. It has led to wars. It's a complete farce. The idea that any of us are separate from the plants and the ocean and the air and each other is a complete illusion. All of the divisions we make between us and others and animals, it's all a mental construct because we are all the same source expressed in different forms. We are all God, unity consciousness, the universe expressed in different forms. I'm definitely not the first person to come up with this idea, and it has been reflected throughout history in all sorts of spiritual contexts and texts. This is John 17:21. I pray that they will all be one, just as you and I are one. As you are in me, Father, and I am in you. And may they be in us, so that the world will believe you sent me. And Jesus here is talking about the unity, the oneness between the Father, the Son, and yourself, which is beautiful and allows you to see that there is divinity in all of us. And that, to me, that's our soul. Our soul is that beautiful creative spark that connects us all together, that brings that divinity to life. This is the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 29. The true yogis, uniting their consciousness with God, see with equal eye all living beings in God and God in all living beings. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. That just says it right there. Those who are spiritually enlightened and spiritually adept recognize the fact that there is unity, there is a oneness in all of us, and that we are all different expressions of that same unity, that same oneness. Finally, here's a quote from the Buddha. It says, "Consider others as yourself." Pretty simple, but I don't think I could have made it any more succinct than that. If you look at others as if they are yourself and treat them as if they are yourself, that's everything. That's the golden rule. That's how you create joy and love and peace in the world. And when you allow your ego and selfishness and desire and individuality to fully take over and pervert your sense of self, your mental paradigm, your framework that you look at the world through, it causes the exact opposite of that. It causes division and hatred and war and injustice and strife, pain. And when you begin to see the world, you begin to see your reality through the framework of oneness as opposed to separation, your entire life will change. When you realize that everyone you see that pisses you off or upsets you is simply an unhealed aspect of the collective consciousness, it even is an unhealed aspect of yourself. A person might appear totally different than you, think a completely different way, but in reality, that person is simply you in a different state of consciousness, a different level of consciousness and understanding of the world. And when you start to see and visualize the world through that framework, you start to realize that judgment is judging yourself. Hurting someone else is hurting yourself. Hurting the environment or polluting the world is polluting your own mind and your own faculties and your own reality. When you start to look at the world through oneness, you stop judging people so much because you realize this person is simply myself at a different stage. I might not understand someone who's talking about quantum mechanics and judge them because I don't understand. I'm at a lower state of consciousness than them. And on the inverse, you also may see someone who might appear to be completely ignorant to you, and it pisses you off. But in reality, that's also you in a lesser state of consciousness. You start to see people with compassion. You start to realize that ignorance, that hatred, the division, the violence, all of these things are unhealed aspects of ourself that we need to have compassion for. We need to help facilitate the growth of. We need to help change and bring things to light rather than fueling that with more hatred, more division, more separation. Even people who hurt you are an expression of wounds. They are an unhealed and a wounded aspect of ourselves. If we weren't able to see something in someone else, like let's say someone does something that really annoys you, if you didn't get annoyed by that thing, it would have no control over you. It would have no impact on you. You would be like, what the hell? Like this, okay. The fact that it does upset you means that it has some level of control over you. And when you start to see it through compassion and understanding and through a state of oneness where this person is a mirror, they're reflecting an aspect of myself that I haven't dealt with, I haven't addressed, you start to have compassion for it and begin to heal from it. The golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated, is called the golden rule because it's simply reality. When I treat the world in a certain way, when I have an inner state of being of love and joy and compassion and giving and generosity and abundance, the world will always reflect that back to me. And when I treat others terribly, I do horrible things to them, the world is going to treat you badly. You're going to see the world through the lens of atrocities. You'll see the world through the lens of atrocities and hatred and separation. When you shift your mental paradigm from a state of separation to one of oneness, your vibration instantaneously raises. You see the world in a unified way. You feel the unity. You feel that I'm connected to this grass beneath me and the air in the sky and the ocean behind me and anyone else, boating out there on the water. We're all the same expression of source, of God, of all that is. When you see the world through oneness, other people's behavior has so much less influence on you. You realize that, when someone treats you poorly or lashes out on you, that is a reflection of their inner state of being. It has nothing to do with your own personal worth or value or anything. You could have done nothing wrong and someone could be completely angry at you or treat you like shit just because. And it allows you to have compassion and understanding for that rather than frustration and anger, which leads to you perpetrating the same thing unto others or to yourself even, which is even worse. You realize that this person that's upsetting me is me at a different level of consciousness, at a different level of understanding of the world. And that's okay, Not everyone has the same soul journey, the same mission, the same state of being. We're all here to learn different lessons and grow at different rates, and that's okay. And that's why it's so important for you to follow your own path and not worry too much about what other people are doing, because the only person that truly matters is you. Because when you treat yourself better, the whole world gets better. When you show up in the world for yourself, that means you'll show up for others too. When, you take care of yourself and you exercise and you eat right and you have a good mental, clarity, that is the best thing you can do for anyone else in the world, because you're bringing that to others. You are allowing that to be reflected. You become the positive mirror to show someone an aspect of themselves. When you see the world through the framework of oneness, nature and animals all become sacred. They're all an expression of yourself rather than something separate that needs to be conquered and tamed and owned and possessed. Instead, it's something of beautiful union where you and the animals and and the insects and the environment, we're all one cohesive thing. We're all a part of each other. We are all symbiotic by nature. I think most importantly of all, when you start to look at the world through oneness, you realize that pain and struggle and suffering, all of these things that happen to us that don't even feel like it's our fault, instead of questioning, why me? Why does this have to happen to me? Why did I deserve this? It shifts your framework to, what is this teaching me? What is this showing me about myself? How is this impacting me? Oneness allows you to see the unity and beauty and divinity in all things, good and bad. So I invite you today to try and, next time you go outside, if you go take a walk or something, look around, look at all the people you see, look at all the nature, the trees, the grass, and realize it's a beautiful expression of the same thing that you're built out of, All of these things are a different physical manifestation of the same original source, the same original substance. And finding the oneness and unity and divinity in all things will bring that to you, into your heart. And it'll bring you joy and love and abundance. With all of that being said, God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. I love you all, and you're doing amazing. I'm proud of you.